Yes, so our next topic is navigation controller. So, so navigation controller is a container view that manages one or more child view controllers in navigation interface. So in this type of interface, only one child view controller is visible at a time. So selecting an item in the view controller pushes a new view controller on screen using animation if we want to view that. So thereby hiding the previous view controller and it shows the new one. So it also provides back button functionality. So on tap of that back button, so you can go back to the previous screen. So yeah, so using navigation controller, we can just push the new controllers. So for example, here in the figure, so yeah, so here you can see the default setting app of the iPhone. So here the interface presented by the setting application will show the first screen present user with the list of application that contain preferences. So on selecting of any of that, it reveals the individual setting and a group of settings and for that application. So selecting on the group also shows the more detailed settings. So using the navigation controller, this is used. Okay, so we can go to the next slide, which is present view controller. So basically present view controller is like presenting the new view controller modally on the top of the existing view controller. So that means the below existing view controller should be there and the new one will be on the top of that. So we'll see how to use navigation controller and then present that particular new view controller on the current screen. And once we cover the theoretical part of these three things: navigation controller, present controller, and push controller. Okay, so push means like it is use the stack, like pushing the it uses the navigation controller stacks to push the new view controllers. So there are 10 view controllers. So there means 10 screens are there as I shown here, like 1, 2, 3, and so on, like 3. So this is the navigation stack used. This is the first screen. On top of that, a new screen is pushed. Then again, new screen is pushed. So that way we can just go back by back button. And if we want a particular thing, like I want to jump back to first screen from the 4 using the navigation stack, we can just do that. Okay, so this is the theoretical part for these three things. So we'll just go back to say Xcode and we'll see what how to use that these things. Okay, so for this, I will just remove the existing code. Okay, so here, if we want to present particular view controller on the top of the current view controller, you can just use the view controller's present view controller method. So for that, we just add one button here. So I will just add some constraint here. Okay, we'll just present. Okay. So if as I want to show new view controller, I should have that one. So I will just add view controller here. Uh, we'll just add some background color to identify it is a different one. So I will just use dark gray color. So we should have new view controllers file as well. So create new Swift file. So it should be part of it should be subclass of your view controller. So we can just name it as a second view controller and just create that one. And in the main.story report, these controllers should assign to that second one view controller. We can identify that programmatically using the storyboard ID. So that's why I use the storyboard ID here. You can add any name. For simplicity, we just use the same as class name. Okay, so we'll go back to the button part. So on click of that button, we need to present this one. So we can just drag and drop here and show as well. but we'll just see this programmatically as well. So go here, view controller, and just add action outlet for that button. So maybe we can say, okay, so how to use that present controller we can see here. So as this is a particular view controller, you can use that object as a self and dot present. So you can see the present uh, method needs one view controller, and second is the animation. So we can provide animation and view controller, but we need to get object of that particular view controller. So we just first need the storyboard which contains this new view controller. So I can just add UI storyboard, and from name I can give. So we have only one storyboard right now, and that is main. So I can just write name here. Bundle is not needed here. Now create a view control object. Sorry, you can just create using storyboard dot instantiate view controller with identifier. So as storyboard object is there, and we just created identifier here. You can see again here, go and storyboard ID. So you can just copy the storyboard ID and use as a identifier, and we can just typecast this into second view controller and just use this view controller here. If you want animation, you can just add 2. If you don't want, you can just set as a false. So now I will hit run button and we'll check it will it work or not. So we can see the button on click of this present PC2. We just see the new view controller is presented on the top of the current view controller. You can just dismiss by sliding down that. So there are multiple properties that then we can change the animation of that. Okay, so this is the present view controller. So now we'll show how to push the view controller. Okay, so for that we'll just change this particular thing. Instead of instead of present, we can just push. Okay, so if I try self dot push, but it is not giving me the method, because push we can do only on the navigation controller, not on the view controller. So each view controller has its navigation controller, so you can use navigation controller dot push view controller. But notice, you can see here, this provides the optional chaining here. Suppose there is no navigation controller, then it will not push the view controller here. Okay, so we'll try like what happened here. You can just use this push. Now I will just run the app again and click on the present PC, but nothing is happening. So why? Because this navigation controller object is not found for this view controller. If I try to force unwrap this one, and because this is null value, it should crash. When I click on present PC2, it is crashed because we haven't found the navigation controller for this view controller. So you can just add programmatically new navigation stack for this view controller, or we just go back to the main storyboard and select the first view controller. And here in the editor, we have option to embed that particular thing into navigation controller. So click on the navigation controller. You can see you just got a navigation controller on for this one. Okay, so we'll just run this project again. Click on the present VC2. Now you can see we are on the second page with the back button is there. Okay, so when I click on the back, it automatically go back to the previous screen. So this is the power of this push view controller using the navigation controller. And in like normal programming, we use most of the time this present and push view controller things to change screen from one view controller to another view controller. So yeah, that's it for this part.